What is the problem with modern dating that women are going through? Why do you think so many women today they get scared to set standards? Why do women keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners and ये loop चलता ही रहता है? From where do you get your energy from?
And let's love and accept men for who they are. मतलब अगर वो 90 चीज सही कर रहा है ना तो उसको प्यार देते हैं rather than for the 10 things which is not doing right. Don't want to make him feel like we cannot love him or that we cannot accept him. You attract a mirror. When you have any man in your life, okay, he is a mirror to you. Whatever you don't like in him is something that you have not accepted in yourself. The biggest lie that we have been told is that if it's true love, it's going to be easy. No, vulnerable conversations are never easy.
This is where the true love actually begins, when both the partners they start seeing and accepting their flaws. कुछ भी कमी भी है तो भी are accepting the person and loving them for who they are.
A woman gets very anxious. What if he does not come back? मैंने कुछ ज्यादा मांग लिया क्या? मैंने कुछ ज्यादा बोल दिया क्या? And then we try to make it right. Or either we start to lower our standards immediately because we see him going away. That's the real test of a woman. Okay, you are asking beautiful questions, so let me get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Gargi Arya show, a show to help you live and build a life and a business that you can be proud of. And today we are back with another inspiring guest. I've been following her since a very long time, and trust me, her energy is so amazing. It's so loving that you are going to literally fall in love with her and with her teachings. So let's begin with welcoming like Mansi Sheth. She's a dating and a relationship coach, guiding modern Indian women to attract healthy, emotionally available partners through feminine energy, self worth, and authentic communication. And she's on this beautiful mission to help women out there blend psychology with soulful feminine work, with soulful feminine wisdom, helping women to step out of dating confusion, any sort of relationship problems, into conscious and connected love. So, welcome, Mansi ma'am, to the podcast. Super excited to have you inside.
Thank you so much, Gargi, for such a lovely introduction to my work. And when you listen to someone saying these
Right.
things, it
Yes.
feels so I was so mesmerized by that.
Thank you so much for being here, because trust me, like whenever I pick up the guest for the podcast show, I'm always like, who can actually bring the real value plus stand out as a guest. So you have been always on my list, so thank you for saying yes. Okay.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So, like the first thing that I want to start with is, like, before even I get to the questions, from where did your story actually begin? Like, from where did your moment of this realization come? Ki I want to help women out there, and specifically in a topic where the world is struggling, relationships.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for so much for starting that ways because I would love to share my journey, my part. Now it looks like a distant place, but so I'm a chartered accountant by qualification, okay, and I had like I was a complete numbers and logic person. I had no relationship with love and kindness and energy, and I was so far away from it. But as I grew up, okay, I was doing my career well, finances and all were going, but at the same time, I was not having a good personal relationship with someone. Like people would come, people would go, treat me very ordinary or secondary in their life, and I used to always beg and chase men, so that I could feel that I'm wanted, that I could feel that love in my life. But that wasn't working out for me the way I wanted. Like, I wasn't the dream girl. I was always a secondary girl. I was always, someone who was like a doormat, who was not that prioritized. So when I was asked to marry, I was around 25 years old and very clueless why to get married. I am financially independent, so I can make a living for my own. I don't need person for that. And if this is how men are going to treat me, I'm not quite sure if I want them in my life and I want to spend my entire life living with them. So I was in a big question mark that what to do. Now the pressure in the Indian society becomes very real when you are, growing in age. And coming from a traditional Gujarati family, the same was happening with me. So I was fighting this urge, in between families, in between this. And it struck me that why am I questioning everything? Like, I got pushed into healings, I got pushed into meditating, and I became calmer rather than being so anxious. I became calm. And from that point onwards, I started to think in future, not in the past, not in in the negative future, but in the present, that what do I have right now and how can I create a better future for myself. यहाँ से मैं कौन सी चीज को चेंज करके आगे बढ़ सकती हूँ. That was the point which I would now say, okay, 6, 7 years back, it was like, a little fire ignited in me to make those changes. Within 6 months of working on myself, I attracted my loving husband. We are now married for 4 years. I've known him since 5. So it's been a lovely journey with its own ups and downs. And I kept building on the marriage and learning more about it. And when coaching came to me, I just thought that why don't I share this out with more women? Why do they like I saw women suffering in and out because of this my age group, because of the workplace and everywhere. So I'm like, okay, if I have turned around few things in me and it has worked, why can't I teach this to them and help them turn around things for themselves? So yeah, this way it has been, a stepping. Every step has been pushing me towards where I am today.
Great, super awesome. Thank you so much, Mansi ma'am, for sharing your story because, like one of my mentors, Blair Singer, says that it becomes our social responsibility to share something that we have overcome. So, thank you for doing that. And one thing I really want to appreciate you, I was constantly observing you while you were speaking. So, your passion, आपका passion feel हो रहा है that how much you love this work. Awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
let's talk about the concept of relationships or modern dating specifically. What exactly is this concept to begin with? Like if somebody is watching this, what is the problem with modern dating that women are going through?
Perfect.
Hmm.
So there are multiple problems, not one. One first is that we have come into way ahead in times. Women are earning, women have their own independent careers, they have fought their way through all the challenges, and today we have all the rights, we have equal rights, we have an equal uh, place in the society as such. But still, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationships, we are still following the old construct, the traditional orthodox construct of तुम्हें खाना तो बनाना ही पड़ेगा, तुम्हें घर का ध्यान तो रखना ही पड़ेगा, तुम्हें ये तो करना ही पड़ेगा. And that is where women get stuck. That if this is not suiting me, because this is not my life, this is not my identity, and I don't want this for me. So that's where we get stuck. And when it comes to dating in a modern world, we are not हम वो टाइम पे नहीं है जहाँ पे बस नेचुरली ही प्यार हो जाता था. राइट नाउ वी हैव एप्स, we have the whole digital world. Even a girl who is 13-year-old or a 14-year-old girl has access to those apps. अभी ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ वो स्कूल में इनोसेंट वाला प्यार हो जाता था, but we have access to all kinds of things. And while I see there's a good part to it, that I have more options, that I can explore more, that I can I have more visibility, at the same time there's also more confusion, there is also more disconnect, there is also more gap in how can I communicate with this person. There is also lack of patience in people to stay there, to stick there, to make it work. सो या दो चीज है, एक है कि बिकॉज हम ओल्ड कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट से डरते हैं तो हम अपने ही नए कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट बनाते हैं जो इन दिस मॉडर्न डेटिंग वर्ल्ड सिचुएशनशिप्स है, या फिर जस्ट आई डोंट नो, देयर आर सो मेनी वर्ड्स, आई बेंचिंग एंड देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ टर्मिनोलॉजी व्हिच आई रिफ्रेन फ्रॉम, बट व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड इज
Hmm.
दैट इन द मॉडर्न टाइम्स वी आर रनिंग अवे फ्रॉम हैविंग अ रियल रिलेशनशिप, अ रियल कॉन्वर्सेशन, facing the true
Hmm.
aspect which will help us grow in a relationship, उससे हम दूर भागते जा रहे हैं
Hmm.
बिकॉज ऑफ द फियर के यार मुझे ये ओल्ड वाले कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट में नहीं फंसना है, तो वी
Right.
डोंट हैव अ हेल्दी
Hmm.
न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट yet
Hmm. Yes.
is what the
Hmm.
problem is.
So true. Like one of the biggest problems I feel is communication only. And in terms of communication, I have one question which I feel बहुत सारी women का struggle होता है. Like why do you think so many women today they get scared to set standards? Like the moment they ask for clarity or consistency from their partners, the other partner will get silent. या तो वो बिल्कुल silent हो जाते हैं और the guy may disappear for some time because maybe he does not know how to handle those situations. So what is happening, like a deeper emotional reason?
Very well thought of question, I must say, Gargi, because मतलब ये है, ये problem है. So I will give you a longer answer, okay? Please expect a bit longer answers from me. So the longer answer to it would be that women train men to treat them, okay? हम ही ट्रेन करते हैं उनको कि वो हमको कैसे ट्रीट करेंगे. जब हम स्टैंडर्ड्स सेट नहीं करते, व्हेन वी डोंट सेट गुड स्टैंडर्ड्स, व्हेन वी डोंट हैव बाउंड्रीज टू व्हाट आई एक्सेप्ट एंड व्हाट आई डोंट एक्सेप्ट, at that time the man does not know what he's supposed to do, okay? And rahi baat for men to run away and go in their shell and shut down, yeah, there are people and men need that space. Why? Because you have to understand that primarily men are very logical, okay? Men are very practical, logical, and that's by design. Women are more emotion centric, women are more sensitive and soft kind of energy. So उन दोनों का naturally थोड़ा सा ये है, okay? Now to process this emotion, a man would also require time and space, because if he has to commit to you for something, he wants to stay on his word, okay? So there are different kinds of men. There is one kind of man who will go away into his cave and then come back, okay? Come back and answer to you. There is the other kind of man who will just go away in his cave and never come back because he's too afraid to come back, okay? And then the third kind could be that he's not interested in you and he does not want to disappoint you in any way, and so he's not going to come back and say anything to you and just avoid it and run away from it, right? So all of this depends on the kind of healing a man has also gone through, because even they have trauma, even they have problems, even they have not learned how to understand their emotions, and whatever they have seen in their environment growing up, they are going to follow the same path. So that's absolutely there. But what happens that in that space, when you give a man, a woman gets very anxious. What if he does not come back? What if this was too much? मैंने कुछ ज्यादा मांग लिया क्या? मैंने कुछ ज्यादा बोल दिया क्या? Because we are always taught to shrink and to not ask for what we really want. So at that point of time we get very anxious कि यार मैंने कुछ तो ज्यादा ही कर दिया, and then we try to make it right by entering his space, by going in and asking, okay, or either we start to lower our standards immediately because we see him going away, we want to lower our standards. That's the real test of a woman, because that is the space where you are training him. When you hold your standards, when you hold your boundaries and you wait there, okay, for a little while patiently, while ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको वेट करना है, मतलब just keep holding on space for him and waiting for him. You live your life, you live your life the way you want, and he will come back and give you a response. If he doesn't come back, let him go. And that's the most difficult part that we face.
Yes. You said one point, like very beautiful, beautiful explanation. I just want to ask one thing from what you said. You said that a man's healing is also very important. But in every personal development room, like I have been into trainings, you have also been training people.
Yeah.
So every time, 99% are women, and only 1% of the people are always man. So is there any reason, why people like men, they are not going through healings, या फिर उनको awareness नहीं है, or is there any ego issue?
Uh, okay.
Hmm.
You are asking beautiful questions, so let me
Yes.
ओके सो क्या होता है ना गार्गी कि women आर वेरी improvement focused. Why? Because right from our childhood we are always taught that we have to improve and we have no problem in that because हम थोड़े trained होते हैं उसके लिए कि हमें ये करना है, हमें ये सीखना है, हमें आगे बढ़ना है, हमें ये करना है, हमें वो करना है. So naturally what we do is we are able to find points in us which are not working out and we want to fix them and change them and make ourselves better, and we do that with men as well. इसमें ये ठीक नहीं है, इसमें ये ठीक नहीं है, अगर ये ठीक कर लेगा तो अच्छा होगा, बस इतना ठीक कर ले तो अच्छा होगा. And what happens in that process is that we lose acceptance. Now when it comes to men, they come from a very different world, very different way of thinking, very different way of upbringing. So for them, until something is not completely broken, they don't find the need to fix it. Okay. So to tell a man that, oh, you need, improvement and you need to work on yourself and you need to heal yourself, it's like telling him that you are broken, you are not good enough, you are just not going to work out for me, and I cannot love you this way, and now go and fix yourself. And it's very harsh for them. That acceptance is very harsh for them. It's not because of ego. See, if you understand, ego is just a construct. Each one of us has it. Men also have, women also have. It's just an additional personality, a layering of personality which we do as we grow up to protect ourselves. Okay. Now, for a man, by evolutionary perspective, he is a provider. He's a hunter. He's a provider. So if he does not carry that pride in him as a leader, as a protector, as a provider, how will he provide and protect and take care of this lovely soft female that he has to shelter from the world? वो नहीं कर पाएगा. So वो by construct उसका वैसा है. There is no point blaming men for not doing. In fact, it's a biological difference. Let's accept it and let's love and accept men for who they are. मतलब अगर वो 90 चीज सही कर रहा है ना तो उसको प्यार देते हैं rather than for the 10 things which is not doing right. उसको don't want to make him feel like we cannot love him or that we cannot accept him.
Yes, and I think from this is where the true love actually begins when both the partners, they start seeing and accepting their flaws. जो भी कुछ भी कमी भी है तो भी are accepting the person and loving them for who they are. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yes. So my next question which I want to ask from you is, like एक emotional unavailable partners का सबसे ज़्यादा बड़ी problem होती है when it comes to relationships. So why do you think women keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners, and ये loop चलता ही रहता है, like fear of losing people, fear of getting into toxic relationships again and again. So from where does these things are coming up?
It all comes from our childhood, sweetheart. It all comes from our childhood. How,
Mhm.
what kind of environment have we received? What kind of energy we have absorbed growing up from our parents, from our environment? Uh, because we generally attract people where we need fixing. Okay. And this is something that I always say that you attract a mirror when you have any man in your life, okay, even if he's for a short term period, if he's standing and sitting in front of you and in your life, he is a mirror to you. Whatever you don't like in him is something that you have not accepted in yourself. When you can start to learn, when you can learn to accept yourself in his presence and also him in your presence, that's when you both start to heal. That's when you create a loving relationship. बट मोस्टली क्या होता है ना कि हम वो चीजें we start looking for things outside of us. We start blaming people outside of us. Okay, that he is not right. Men are not right. And in that process, we tend to create more limiting beliefs in our system, more assumptions in our system which don't work in our favor. जैसे कि women have this assumption, that men are just not emotional. Oh, that's not true. They are emotional. They just don't know how to process their emotions. They do it differently than you. Their expression is very different than you. It's not that men want to cheat or lie to you, but they are really afraid of actually breaking your heart. So there are so many things which are not in plain sight. But when we start to look at, outside things to help us uh, uh, look inside, that's when it will change. अगर हम सिर्फ ब्लेमिंग मोड में रहते हैं कि यार इसने ये किया उसने वो किया इसके लिए मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ है, आई एम द विक्टिम, बैड थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग टू मी, then you will never change, then you will never shift, then you will keep on repeating the pattern, because it's very simple. The universe wants you to learn something. And that's why the same kind of situations and same kind of people are appearing in your life. But if you refuse to learn, if you refuse to take that feedback to look inside, then you're going to repeat the same pattern again and again.
So true, like very true. It all starts from childhood. So, is there any way to break it? Like, if somebody is listening to this, and if they just want like a three-step process or few steps on how they can start getting aware and breaking it.
First is sit with yourself and stop blaming. Identify how many people am I blaming in my life? How many situations am I complaining about? What is my blame and complain ratio? If we just sit with ourselves and identify that, that would be helping us to see our pattern. कि यार मैं इसको ब्लेम कर रही हूँ फॉर हर्टिंग मी, मैं उसको ब्लेम कर रही हूँ फॉर हर्टिंग मी, बट द फैक्ट इज दैट आई एम हर्टिंग. Okay, so then there comes the point of taking responsibility, that okay, responsibility for my feelings, I am responsible for my feelings and my thoughts. This is the key place where if you start with that, okay, I am responsible for this, I need to stop blaming. That would be the first step. The second step would be to identify that, okay, if I am hurting, what in me is hurting? How can I change this? How can I change this pain inside of me? How can I change? What are my assumptions? Identifying our beliefs, our assumptions, which are not working in our favor, right? Recognizing them कि यार ये तो मेरे फेवर में काम ही नहीं कर रहा है. If I am expecting men to cheat, if I am saying and assuming that men are cheaters, men are liars, then what kind of men am I going to attract? The same ones who are cheaters and liars. Because even if a good man walks into my life, my immediate thought is going to be, oh, where were you? Why didn't you call me? Who were you with? Right? And then the man is taken aback that, oh, I didn't do anything, why is she so basically you're just telling him that I'm expecting you to cheat, I don't trust you enough, right? So yeah, and many other assumptions that we carry about men, about ourselves, about the relationships that we have had. And rightly so, it comes from our past experiences. So I'm not saying कि ये उनके साथ कभी हुआ नहीं है, ये हुआ होता है, बट अभी आपको पूछना है कि am I still running my life based on the same assumption or the same belief that happened with me once? And third is then to take corrective steps to change it. And that change happens in those situations, okay? That the next time the guy is MIA, I don't go chasing behind him. I take a pause, I take a deep breath and I say, oh, I'm not doing this again. I am not going to ask him for a follow up date. I am not going to check in with him if he's loyal with me or not. I'm going to trust him to do his part. Okay. That's where the cycle starts to break. First is taking responsibility and stop the blame game. So it puts you out of the victim place. Second is identifying what are my assumptions, what are my beliefs that I am working with. And third is taking active steps to change it. In that process, in that situation, I decide to act differently.
Exactly, very true. Like this is something that you are talking very deeper in terms of root cause, because आधे लोगों को पता ही नहीं होता है कि they are into this pattern, and most of them, even if they know, they don't know how to break it. So everyone, I hope that you are getting to learn the step by step process. Like the next problem which I feel in relationships happens a lot is clear communication is not there. right? The clear
Hmm.
communication is one of the biggest problems, because of which misunderstandings happen. Other things can happen, and sometimes these things go to such next level that maybe divorce cases can happen. ये जो आपने cheating वाला point बोला था, so what according to you should be like a daily ritual that both the partners should have? Because what I feel, when I see in my own home, or when I see people out there, it's like both the partners are too busy in their own lives that there is no quality time, और फिर वो quality time की वजह से वो misunderstanding होती है कि they don't understand me, all of these things. So what should be like a daily
Um,
thing to follow?
you're so wise, Gargi. My heart swells when I listen to what you are saying, and with
Hmm.
that whole, I can genuinely see that the way you
Hmm.
want to know it.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that. And yeah, आपने बहुत सही बोला
Hmm.
है कि ये होता है.
Hmm.
Why, primarily, if I have
Hmm.
to answer you, I'll tell you, we expect people to understand us,
Right.
and we take people who are nearest to us for granted.
Hmm. Hmm.
We don't want to explain ourselves, which is okay. We shouldn't be in a position
Right.
mind readers.
Hmm. Yes.
None of our partners
Hmm.
are mind readers. उनको
Hmm.
नहीं पता है कि मेरे साथ आज क्या हुआ है.
Hmm.
Which client has rejected me, which session has not worked out
Hmm.
well for me, what Instagram, is how is Instagram
Yeah.
treating.
Hmm.
My partner does not know that.
Hmm.
Okay. And if he does not know that, he is going to assume based on what has happened with him in his childhood.
Hmm.
Meaning, if he was in a vulnerable space wanting for love, care, and attention,
Hmm.
and one of, or either both or one of the parents did not give him at that point, my
Hmm.
partner is going to process the same feeling, is going to re
Hmm.
same feeling with me,
Hmm.
because that's how our brain works. That's why
Hmm.
psychology.
Right.
कि यार वो ही देखने वाला है कि हाँ
Hmm.
मेरे प्यार नहीं करती, ये मुझे रिजेक्ट कर रही है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, राइट? So it is my duty to let him know that, hey sweetheart, I'm having a very bad day today and I'm not in the best of the moods. Can you please give me a cup of tea? What we do is, oh, हम मुंह फुला के बैठते हैं या उदास होके
Hmm.
बैठते हैं, and then we expect कि यार उससे कुछ तो करना चाहिए to make me happy. Why to put your own partner
Hmm.
through so much, like, and this happens because we don't go in with the assumption that he or she loves me. We go in with the assumption that he has to prove to me in some way that he loves me.
Hmm.
And I mean, that's actually the biggest root of the problem. Why don't we go in with the assumption? Because when we go in with the assumption that he loves me and he wants to do the best for me, he just doesn't know how. I think my 4 years of marriage has all survived because of this. That any time we had a rift, my mind always said, "He loves
Hmm.
me. He wants to do it for me. He does not know how."
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
then handle it. But the
Hmm.
moment it goes to, oh, he does not love me, and that's why he is
Hmm.
doing this to me,
Hmm.
will all start to fall apart and crumble down.
Exactly.
Right? So first is
Hmm.
about assumption. The second
Hmm.
up in understanding and communication. We have to know that communication is a skill and it's
Hmm.
never easy.
Hmm.
The biggest lie that we have been told is that if it's true love, it's going to be easy.
Hmm. Right.
No, vulnerable conversations are never easy.
Hmm.
Putting your cross the parts of you which you have rejected, which you don't even know exist, and when your partner puts light on it, and when you have
Hmm.
to them, it's not an easy task. It's not,
Hmm.
and it's not about कि आप कितने busy हो या आपके पास time है या नहीं. It's about the intention. Do I
Hmm.
want tend to have a good relationship, then I need to put in time and effort over there as well. Why are our careers only important, and why do we
Hmm.
take love and relationships
Hmm.
for granted? Why don't
Right.
we see,
Hmm.
this? It's like मैं एक सेशन कम लूं और मैं वो अपना टाइम अपने पार्टनर को दूं. कि यार
Hmm.
now he is one of my very important
Hmm.
client and I have to take
Yes.
a
Huh.
lot of attention to him and
Hmm.
his. Then what we
Hmm.
do is that we put all our energy, good energy, best energy out to strangers, out to our colleagues,
Yes.
to our clients, and then जो भी बचा कुचा रहता है ना वो हम घर पे लेके जाते हैं कि यार अभी कर लो यार डील, तुम तो मेरे ही हो ना, तुम तो कहीं जा नहीं रहे हो, तो कर लो इससे डील. बट आई थिंक दैट्स सो रॉन्ग. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. They deserve better because
mm,
they choose you at your best, they choose you at your worst, they choose you
mm,
without conditions. Then why should they receive crumbs?
mm.
Not
Right.
right.
And I think that's one of the biggest problems in families also. Like everybody थके they थके आते हैं घर पर, and फिर उसके बाद they all sleep. They are all sleeping in their own rooms, or everybody is scrolling in their own phone. Dinner भी they are having in separate rooms. So I think everybody, the point that you said really connected with me a lot, कि सब लोग बाहर अपना best version दिखा रहे हैं, and at home, they are like all broken inside as a family. Awesome.
Yeah, and that's where you need to sit together. You
Mm,
need to put an intention in place that, hey,
mm,
and even if one person starts to do that, no,
mm,
Gagi, like if you are the one who will say that, you know what, let's put
mm,
in at least 15 minutes of intentional time together, have
mm,
something very small, like, you know, a meditation session of 15
mm,
minutes that we together as a family sit and meditate for 15
mm,
minutes. I think
right.
that itself will, क्योंकि first तो
Mm,
ना सबकी energy इतनी low है, to bring
yes.
that energy into
Mm,
place in a way, in a place where they realize that I need to
mm,
communicate or bring the best, they need
mm,
to be in a good space. So maybe a reading session के एक
mm,
छोटा सा 15 minute book reading club कर लिया घर
mm,
में, या फिर
mm,
कुछ ये कर लिया, which is not,
mm,
you know, कि movie देखना साथ में and all is not
mm,
the right thing to go about it, but just listening to music together, sitting and, you know, सब अपने अपने
mm,
पसंद का एक एक song लगाते हैं and you sing together, some
mm,
that which brings light and energy into the room in a positive way, even though if it's
mm,
only for 15 minutes, that
mm,
bonds us together because there
mm,
are hormones which start to secrete
mm,
as we bond and come
yes.
together. So that really changes
Mm.
the dynamic.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you for sharing such bulb-on moments. By the way, I just want to ask a personal question. Like, from where do you get your energy from? Because from your aura, the loving thing that you are already reflecting is, coming wo feel or aise screen baby. So, how do you work on your energy?
Thank you so much, and I'm so glad and at the same time
Hmm.
overwhelmed with this, you know, comment that
Hmm.
because I have worked really hard, Gargi, to be here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and I don't want to boast myself or, you
Hmm.
know, my own
Hmm.
trumpet, etc.,
Hmm.
but I was a very opposite person. I was
Hmm.
someone who was always needy, and I was always begging for love, and I was chasing people for love, and I
Hmm.
was so judgmental. I mean, every bone inside me was
Hmm.
judgmental.
Hmm.
Okay, and I was like just 6 to 7 years back, I was
Hmm.
that person who was completely different. And
Hmm.
then I learned the power of kindness. I started to
Hmm.
meditate. I started to understand that जितना judgment मैं लोगों पे डालती हूँ,
Hmm.
all of that is me judging myself, because we can only judge others to the
Hmm.
extent we judge ourselves. So when I started to understand those parts and I started to just, you know, grow my heart, I did a lot of meditation. Honestly, I used to meditate a lot. I used to meditate on loving kindness, on opening my heart, on vipassana for hours, and all of that helped me
Hmm.
open my heart to see
Hmm.
people the way they are. Like I
Hmm.
started to begin to see people at a soul level. I
Hmm.
understood that there is no right and there is no wrong in this world. There is
Right.
no right, there is no absolute right, there is
Hmm.
no absolute wrong. Everyone has their own perspective depending on
Hmm.
what they have learned,
Hmm.
and you know, everyone is a product of what they have
Hmm.
learned in their childhood,
Hmm.
and they are just showing up that way. So why
Hmm.
do I need to take it personally? अगर
Yes.
उनको प्यार नहीं मिला है तो वो मुझे प्यार
Hmm.
देंगे कैसे? और अगर मैं भी उनको नफरत दूंगी तो
Hmm.
उनका बिलीफ और स्ट्रांग हो जाएगा कि प्यार है ही नहीं दुनिया में.
Hmm.
सो व्हाई कैन आई
Hmm.
नॉट गिव
Hmm.
more love to them? Why do I not hold that space for them, that hey, you know, in my heart I'm always blessing people, even if someone does something wrong to me, even if someone is late, does not show up, because कई बार ऐसा होता है that, you know, my clients, they just cancel at the last moment. They don't turn up sometimes. And while I do feel bad, but I just send a lot of love their way, because I
Hmm.
know that they are in that place and I am where I am because there is a reason, because I've done the work and they are doing the work. So I just keep on blessing people. And in turn, I think that energy creates inside of me.
Yes.
So I'm just blessing myself, I feel, when I bless others.
Yes.
Keep doing it.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much for sharing the secret. So, like, abhi beach mein while you were answering a question, you had mentioned about dating apps. So I think वो भी सबसे बड़ा problem है when it comes to today's relationships. So with dating apps specifically, I feel women को एक insecurity होने लगती है that her partner is going to cheat, or maybe the man partner can also feel the same for her partner. So like there's always someone better that they can look for, there's always someone that they can trust on or rely upon. और एक और चीज होती है रिलेशनशिप्स में, बिकॉज आई एम एट दिस एज, स्टिल आई कैन सी माई फ्रेंड्स कि ये मेरा ऑप्शन है, ये मेरा कमिटमेंट है. तो व्हाई डज दीज थिंग्स हैपन, लाइक व्हाई डेटिंग एप्स आर क्रिएटिंग, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ फस इज इट हैपनिंग?
I don't think dating apps is the problem.
हम्म.
I think any new technology that comes along only reflects the
हम्म.
energy that we are carrying inside.
हम्म.
Because
राइट.
all of that is just magnifying what's happening
हम्म.
inside of us. Okay.
हम्म.
If we as humans
हम्म.
were perfect, and perfect तो कोई हो नहीं सकता, but
हाँ.
अगर हमारे में वो एनर्जी नहीं होती तो वो एप्स पे नहीं आती.
हम्म.
ओके.
हम्म.
सो पहला है कि
हम्म.
इनसिक्योरिटी, जैसे आप बोल रहे हो, ठीक है, अगर
हम्म.
वो इनसिक्योरिटी है तो वो
हम्म.
इनसिक्योरिटी है तो दैट पर्सन हैज टू डील विद दैट इनसिक्योरिटी. दैट ऐप
हम्म.
हैज नथिंग टू डू विद इट. दैट
हम्म.
ऐप इज जस्ट अ प्लेटफॉर्म to
हम्म.
make two people meet, and it's just making it
हम्म.
more convenient and easier for people to find their matches, right?
एग्जैक्टली.
Let's just look at
हम्म.
technology till that end. Everything
हम्म.
else that is happening is
हम्म.
us.
राइट.
Everything else is just us. It's not the
हम्म.
apps, it's not the
हम्म.
technology that's spoiling, it's not the
हम्म.
options that's spoiling anyone. It's about
हम्म.
your the choices that you are making. Of course it becomes easier, young minds, they get influenced. There is no proper training in that space, there is no proper, and worst is के जो हमारी जनरेशन अभी जिस टाइम में ग्रो अप हो रही है, the kind of
हम्म.
environment at home I see, I observe, that's what I'm going to carry forward, right? So there is more and more responsibility on all of us as a society to create more loving homes. Because when I don't find love at home, I'm going to try to find it outside. And going to try more and more. When I don't have the right understanding, I will be under the peer pressure of, oh, इसका भी boyfriend है तो मेरा होना चाहिए. Not understanding that यार ये compulsory नहीं है. कोई mandatory field नहीं है fill करने के लिए.
राइट.
So yeah, I think that more than apps, it's about us. It's about, what are we learning, what are we
हम्म.
imparting. And
राइट.
और एक चीज तुमने बोली थी कि there is always someone better out there. Of course there is always someone better out there. Of course, but then that makes me wonder, how insatiable are you?
हम्म.
What are you trying to look for when you say I want a better option? What
हम्म.
part of you is feeling a void which you are not filling, and you're trying
हम्म.
to fill it from outside through some better quality, through some better looking person?
हम्म. So true. And like I just got this one thought right now. अभी क्या होता है, like in modern dating or in modern world, people really do not know what is the meaning of love. Like somebody is just attracted through someone's body, like वो physical attraction होता है, and they start calling it love, and then after some time both of them are going to be breaking up. So what do you think, as a relationship expert, is actual love?
I think through centuries,
Mm.
humans have been trying to
Mm.
understand love.
Yes.
Okay, it's not a
Hmm.
question of today or yesterday,
Hmm.
but it's through centuries that we're all trying to understand what is this feeling inside, because
Hmm.
that's the only unique thing that we carry, our own emotions, and love
Yes.
is one of those emotions.
Exactly.
What To answer you, what is
Hmm.
love? I think when God made all of us, okay,
Hmm.
He made us out of love.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful creation, cannot be out of anger or hatred, right? When He
Hmm.
created humans, He did it out of love, and that's why we are all an
Hmm.
ansh of God's love. That means that we all carry divine love within us.
Hmm.
Even the आपने जो आप अगर टेररिस्ट को भी पकड़ लेते हो, या आप एक
Hmm.
pick the worst crime people
Hmm.
also, and they are also still a part of that divine love. They are also that drop of divine love in this ocean of
Hmm.
earth. But what
Right.
obstructs us is our own barriers that we create to love. Love is not outside of us. Love is not what we get from someone else.
Hmm.
Love is what we create inside for ourselves.
Yes.
Love is what we give to others
Mm,
without expecting anything in return.
mm,
And love is something, and when I say without expecting anything in return, I think it can be misused. But what I really mean
mm,
is that आप उतना ही दो जितना
mm,
आप अपने प्यार से अपना कप फिल करके दे सकते हो, like from an
mm,
overflow.
yes.
Give out of an overflow. The
Mm,
moment you start giving out of an empty cup, you are just begging again. It's a begging bowl
mm,
कि अच्छा मैं ये कर दूं तो तुम ये कर दोगे मेरे
mm,
लिए. So, yes, love is all about first filling your own cup
mm,
and removing all the barriers within yourself to love.
exactly.
The rejection that we, I mean, I can go on and on, but the rejection that we give to
Mm,
ourselves, the hatred that we give to ourselves, the bashing, continuous bashing, the unkind words that happens here between our two ears all the time. All of that is what? All of that is you not giving love to yourself, and then you are expecting someone else to do it for you. क्यों आउटसोर्स करना है? You are a divine, you have a divine love, you are a divine
mm,
love, you are a divine form. Just allow yourself to see yourself more and more.
mm. Exactly. So true. And I think which brings us to the very importance of a very important concept called self-love. You know, self-love is something तभी अगर आपको relationships अपने healthy चाहिए, self-love should be there. Now a lot of people because of Instagram they confuse self-love with self-luxury अपने आप को outer beauty करना. So what exactly is self-love? And if you can just share few activities someone can follow for self love.
Okay, so I have a very interesting take on
Hmm.
this. What
Okay.
I tell my clients, what I share with
Hmm.
my clients is that forget everything that you have learned about
Hmm.
self love because it's very
Hmm.
confusing now outside. Okay,
Yes.
if you can talk to yourself
Hmm.
kindly even
Hmm.
after making a mistake,
Hmm. Right.
you will you are walking towards
Hmm.
loving yourself more and more each day.
Hmm.
When
Right.
you can forgive yourself
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
not being the version you expected out of yourself,
Hmm.
you are walking towards love every day. If you can accept yourself
Hmm.
in spite of all the rejections that the world gives you,
Hmm.
you are walking more and more towards yourself, towards loving yourself. Just talk to yourself like you would talk to a 7-year-old child or a 2-year-old or
Hmm.
3-year child. क्या तुम उसको बोलोगे तुम्हें इतना नहीं समझ आता क्या इतने बेवकूफ हो? You won't
Hmm.
do that to a child, right?
Hmm.
Then why would you do that to you?
So true. So I think we need to be more kind to ourselves on a daily basis.
Yeah, and it's a
Hmm.
practice. And yeah,
Yes.
to answer your question,
Hmm.
activities, I think the
Hmm.
best is to stand in front of the mirror
Hmm.
and look into your eyes, connect with
Hmm.
yourself. That's basically
Hmm.
you connecting with the child inside of you.
Hmm.
And start to say nice, loving, and kind words.
Hmm.
Initially, it will look very fake. It will feel very
Hmm.
fake. You will be distracted कि मुझे ये
Hmm.
नहीं करना है, ये क्या फालतू है, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, ये मेरी आईब्रो क्यों इतनी
Hmm.
ऐसी हो गई, मेरे स्किन पे क्यों इतने
Hmm.
स्पॉट्स है. But
Hmm.
then if you stay put with
Hmm.
that every day on a daily basis,
Hmm.
5 minutes, you give yourself that time, you're going
Hmm.
to reach a place where you will finally be able to see your soul,
Hmm.
where you will be finally meet yourself,
Hmm.
where you will be able to stop pitying yourself
Hmm.
and start to
Right.
love yourself because you can see that, oh my God, I've been so harsh, so unkind with myself.
Hmm.
I need this. I need to love myself.
Hmm.
So that works like magic. Second
Hmm.
is that if this is too overwhelming for someone to begin with, then they
Hmm.
can start journaling on a daily basis how
Yes.
they feel,
Hmm.
feelings. Because
Hmm.
what we tend to do is that whenever when it comes to feelings, we are always
Hmm.
taught that there are good feelings and there are bad feelings, and you
Hmm.
should not feel this way and you should feel only this way. So we try very
Yes.
hard to feel or
Hmm.
not feel a certain way, and that's very
Yes.
confusing for especially a
Yes.
woman's body because a woman's
Hmm.
body is not designed in a masculine way,
Hmm.
it's designed in a feminine way. Your emotions
Exactly.
are your superpower, they are your gifts.
Hmm.
Okay, and if you
Right.
try to resist it and fight it, oh my God, Mansi, I'm feeling so
Hmm.
stressed and I'm feeling so anxious and I want it to go
Hmm.
away. No,
Right.
no, you don't want it to go away. You have to feel it. You have to be with it. You have to just at that moment, allow your emotions to run through you. The only thing you are not allowed to do is don't react out of your emotions. अच्छा यार अभी मुझे बहुत ही मेरे एक्स की याद आ रही है and I'm feeling so sad about that and oh my god I'm crying, let me message him. No, that's you're allowed to cry, you're allowed to pity, you're allowed to roll in self pity, but you're not allowed to message him. I थोड़ा out of context I know, but yeah, so that's what it is, right? Journal on your feelings, journal on your emotions, so that you can become more aware, better aware about, okay, this is how I feel. And then at the end, just write, it's okay to feel this way. I love you, even though you feel this way. More and more of that is going to help. And then there are other things like, having a joy list in place. Have things that bring you joy. They don't have to be really big things in life. They have to be really small things. Like, if I'm feeling really sad, I would just go and wash the dishes because that makes me more present, more grounded. Okay. If I'm feeling very sad, I can just pick up a book and start to read something into it, or I just sit to meditate, look within, or I go for a walk in the nature. All of these are little things like walking barefoot on grass or having a cup of warm tea. I love coffee, so I make coffees and I drink coffee. So I don't want to, you know, attach food with love, but I think there are little things which you can do, which will bring you more present, which will make you more grounded in your energy. So have that list, and the moment that you feel a bit out of place, you can just pick up one thing on that list and start doing it.
So, like giving yourself that queen treatment you expect from everybody else outside.
That is, of course, very
Yeah.
important, but I think
Yes.
it's very hugely spoken about.
Yes. yes, yes, exactly. So I think relationships एक ऐसा topic है where I can just go on and on and
Yeah.
on, and similarly you. But the very important, second last thing which I want to ask from you is when it comes to awakening your femininity inside you, because like अगर मैं अपना खुद का बताऊँ, I have always been into most of masculine energy. This year since I began my healing journey, thoda thoda I'm trying to awaken that inside. And it really works well. Jab you are into that femininity, so you feel that magic inside you. You feel so confident about yourself. And there are many women out there who have forgotten about their own femininity inside them. So what role does it play in relationships? And if somebody is totally disconnected from this, like what is the process to just start awakening it back?
Wow. Okay.
Mm,
So first to answer the question that what role
mm,
does it play in a relationship?
mm.
It creates polarity.
Right.
It creates attraction.
Mm,
Okay, it's good that we have the masculine traits of logic, of
mm,
reasoning, of being
mm,
punctual, or of at the same time being very powerful in our work. It
mm,
helps us focus on our work and bring a lot of efficiency and productivity and everything at work. Okay, but when you come home, when you come back to a relationship space,
mm,
your man does not want a competitor.
mm,
उसको नहीं चाहिए वो competition.
mm.
But somehow, feminism has convinced us that men are bad.
Yes, so
So what
true.
we do is that even though we want them in our life, we come home to prove to them that, see, I
Mm,
am way above you. I am way,
mm,
now you cannot treat me bad. No, he does not want to treat you bad.
mm, mm,
Give him a chance and teach him.
mm. Exactly.
राइट बिकॉज वो तो वही करेगा जो उसने देखा है. डजेंट मैटर आप कितना पैसा बाहर कमा के आ रहे हो या क्या कर रहे हो या किससे कैसे बात
Yes.
कर रहे हो. एंड ऑल ऑफ
Mm,
दिस आई फेस्ड इन माय फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ मैरिज वेर आई एम गोइंग.
mm,
So yeah, I don't want to
mm,
digress, but yeah,
mm,
that's when I
mm,
realized that creating attraction, that femininity in the
mm,
relationship is very important, and that would just mean that I am soft, I am kind,
mm,
I am loving towards my partner. It does not mean that I'm just giving away my power, I'm being submissive in the relationship, or I'm just allowing him to walk all over me. No, all of that submissiveness, low
mm,
quality energy is not required. It's a high quality energy where I am kind, I'm nurturing, I know my boundaries, I know my power, and
mm,
yet I don't have to put him down in any way or compete
mm.
with him or prove my worth to him in any way. Okay,
Exactly.
so that
Mm,
exactly is what the polarity and attraction
mm,
means in a relationship.
mm,
And when it comes to how to create that, it happens by allowing things to flow in your relationship.
mm,
Women have a need to control which restaurant to go, when to go, what to wear, what should
mm.
he wear, how should he look. Oh, मेरे साथ आ रहा है तो इतना तो उसने अच्छा कपड़ा पहनना ही चाहिए. Oh
Yes.
my God, there is so much of control that is happening. The moment this guy will say, "Oh, can I take you to comedy?" I don't think I'm so interested in it. How about we go here and there? No, you are taking away his leadership power. You are leading
Mm,
now. You are immediately leading in this.
mm,
If you want to do something of your choice, make a plan, ask him out and take him for that plan. But when he asks you to do
mm,
something, follow it. Say, okay, fine, that sounds lovely, let's go.
mm,
Encourage him, appreciate him for what he does instead of trying to fight it all the time. Yeah, if you are not okay going to it, once that is done, you can let him know that, you know what, it was lovely attending this,
mm,
but मुझे थोड़े से कम पसंद आते हैं कॉमेडी शोज.
mm,
क्या नेक्स्ट टाइम कुछ और प्लान कर सकते हो क्या?
mm. Right.
That's it. Allowing, like, sometimes it's like that, men are not perfect. Just like women, men are also not perfect.
Mm,
They're going to make mistakes. They're going
mm,
to falter. And instead of saying, "Oh, I told you so," "Oh, you're good for nothing," "Oh, you are just, spoiling everything all the time," why can't we just come into more of an acceptance mode,
mm,
more of a letting go of control phase where, it's okay.
mm,
Fine. I'll tell you something, that on Valentine's Day, I wanted to go to Trescent and my husband took me to Pop because he
mm,
forgot to do the booking. I was in a gown and puppets, and but it turned out pretty well because we enjoyed the whole Bollywood thing and
mm,
Bollywood music, and we danced and we
mm,
sang, a lot of songs. So we had fun. So sometimes
mm,
when we let go of it, I could have done that. I could have uh,
mm,
checked in with him 10 times कि तुमने booking किया क्या, तुमने booking किया क्या,
mm,
are we going, are we going? Actually, I didn't. I just allowed him to do whatever. I just told him that I want to go here, and then I allowed him to do everything. And even if he couldn't do it rightly, I was fine. Next time ये कर लेगा अगर उसको करना होगा तो. Because this is man I'm married to now. What's the point of trying to fix him all the time or trying to take the control out from him? So yeah, I think letting go sometimes really helps. In fact, every time it helps. Just letting go. Just letting go.
amazing. And like I've been seeing your reels with you and Sir. So I just want to say, like, people like you really help young people like us to believe in love once again, because अभी relationships में इतना ज़्यादा complex दिखाते हैं या फिर वो बनाते हैं लोग. So sometimes it feels कि पता नहीं right partner मिलेगा भी या नहीं. So
Yeah.
yes, amazing. So thank you so much, Mansi ma'am, for all the wonderful insights that you are giving us. Just one last question which I want to ask you is, like, all the messages that you have given us, if there was just one message that you had to tell us, like, to the audience who is listening to this.
Interesting.
Mm,
Make your desire to have love in your life
mm,
bigger than the fears that you have.
mm,
Because there
awesome.
is always be a fear
Mm,
waiting there telling you that it
mm,
won't happen and that is going to go wrong.
mm,
Make your desire
mm,
far bigger
mm,
than the fear.
right. So beautiful. Like I got goosebumps while you were saying this message. So if somebody wants to connect with you and they want to join any of your programs or coaching, what's the way forward?
Oh, that's wonderful question. So I don't do any programs as of now on a
Okay.
public
Hmm.
group level,
Hmm.
but I do only personal coaching for women about
Hmm.
27 who want to get
Hmm.
married, who are serious
Hmm.
about but getting married, but not
Hmm.
attracting the right kind of
Hmm.
partner, don't know how to navigate the
Hmm.
space of dating, don't
Hmm.
know how to be more feminine. So
Hmm.
all of them can reach out to me, and we
Hmm.
do wonderfully well. The kind of
Hmm.
support that we provide, the kind of
Hmm.
inner work that we do in this
Hmm.
process, and
Hmm.
they can reach out to me. You can put
Mm.
my link
Yes, yes,
in the
I'll share.
description so they can reach out to me
Mm.
through that link.
Awesome. So, everyone, to the audience, thank you so much for watching this podcast. I just want all of you to do share your comments, key takeaways from the podcast, because please remember what she just talked about is something that is really very, very serious to think about, very, very practical as well, and something that is magical too. So, just make sure that you follow along with all the links that are going to be in the description. If you feel connected, go towards the coaching programs also. And thank you so much, Mansi ma'am, for being in the podcast show. It was lovely to host you.
It was an equally, great privilege, Gargi, because the kind of questions that you asked and the kind
Hmm.
of enthusiasm that you showed really
Hmm.
touched my heart, and it brought out, I think, the best out
Yes.
of me. So
Hmm.
I'm really happy that I was here.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. See
Thank
you
you
in
so
the
much.
next episode. Bye.
Bye.